All right, hello everyone. After a little technical glitch here, I am so sorry. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here, and we're going to make sure everyone knows where the posts were are, and make sure everyone knows where to go. So we're posting it all over the place, and oops, hold on, that's not the right link. Let me just make sure. Okay, there we go. And Laura, my assistant here, is going to post, my fantastic assistant's going to post that in the group so you can make sure you get on to the right Google Plus page. And we get in the chat here, and we're going to have a great chat. So feel free to make your comments, and I'm going to just go ahead and turn this over to John, and Jan will let them introduce themselves. My name's Andrea Ball. Welcome, John.
Welcome. My name is John Hayden. I'm in Boston. It's 8 o'clock at night. I had to adjust the lighting in this room really quickly, and I'm really excited to be here, even though it's quarter after. Thank you very much for waiting, everybody.
Yeah, we're happy to have you all here. And we've got Jan Zimmerman. Welcome, Jan. Can we hear you?
Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me. It's Jan Zimmerman from Watermelon Mountain Marketing in New Mexico. And awesome. This is great fun.
Yeah, this is awesome. So we're happy to have everyone there. So let me just make sure that we've got the right links for everyone. We're sharing them all over the place, and we're getting all the connections in here. And so we're just want to. Looks like we've got people in here. If you're in here and watching the right link, say hello. We'd love to hear you say hi. And we've got, I guess, a few people watching who've got the right link, and we've got some people. Let's check over at the Facebook group. See if we've got the link there, and seeing if people are finding us, and that way we'll get the party started. I apologize for the technical difficulties. So we see your comments. I'm just going to give a shout out to Sandra. She said, do we see your comments? And I say, yes, we do see your comments. And you can stay on Facebook, Marilyn, if you're watching this live. You can stay here. Glenda's here. Hi, Glenda. We've got Jen Herman here. Hi, guys. We're so happy to have you here. And, yeah, awesome. So we've got a few more people coming into the Google Hangout as well, so we're excited there to have you here. And I'm going to make sure I can watch all my windows. I didn't have all
I'm looking at the comments, too.
Yeah, good. I had all the...
on Facebook. You know,
I had all the windows,
yeah.
So... we've got, let me just make sure that we're playing live. So you just have to hit the play button if you're listening in live. And what else? So John, why don't you tell us about a little bit about your section? Tell us about what are the things you see on Facebook marketing while we're waiting for more people to join us here.
What do you mean, what
kind of changes are happening, especially that we covered in the 3rd edition? What kind of changes are live there?
I think what's really exciting, actually the most exciting thing for me, is that I think people are starting to think more strategically about Facebook in 2 ways. They're starting to think more strategically in terms of content, thinking about the impact of content marketing and great images and photos and all that stuff. They're thinking about that, but they're also thinking about the proper use and creative use of Facebook ads, because Facebook ads, as you know, are pretty amazing. With retargeting and custom audiences. So that the general thing that I've seen is that people are kind of embracing these 2 different approaches. That's just one big thing that I've seen.
Right. Yeah. And Jan, why don't you talk a little bit about, you wrote a lot of the section on Facebook ads, right? Tell us a little bit about what you see as becoming more important with Facebook ads.
Well, I think there's 2 really important things that I see with Facebook ads. One is the increased ability to target a very specific audience, including tying your Facebook audience to off-Facebook activity and behavioral activity offline. That's an incredible kind of integration available that's not really been available anywhere else for marketers to do that dual combination. And I think the other thing which is interesting and certainly has made a huge difference in terms of Facebook's own success is one, putting large ads in the news feed, and more so doing advertising in a mobile environment, because more than half of Facebook's ad revenues are now coming from mobile marketing.
Yeah. It's definitely an incredible opportunity, and I think that I'm seeing more and more people realize that they have to use Facebook ads to to stay relevant. You've got, with the news feed becoming just almost non-existent as far as reach, I think we have to put a little bit of budget in for Facebook ads. My favorite type of ad that you can run is a website conversion ad, where you can test put the conversion pixel in there, and then really see exactly how those conversions are coming from Facebook. One of the considerations with that is that you have to have a website that you control. It can't be something like Eventbrite or things like that. It has to be something where you've got a kind of thank you page there. So
I think what's really powerful about that, just to add on that, because I love that feature, one, if you have the bandwidth and the resources, you could do some serious A/B testing, different headlines, images, copy, and different ways of driving traffic to the website. I wish they only allowed you to have a conversion pixel on a page post.
Yeah.
So that
they actually, you kind of are able to do that, but I haven't seen that the tracking has been super great on that. It just basically it doesn't seem to track really well, and so I don't know. That's the frustrating thing with those page posts.
There's also UTM tags. It's a steady. It's a pretty dependable, which is tagging the URL.
Yeah.
UTM. I don't want to throw anything out there that's like geek speak.
I know. I always hate like getting too geeky. So that's where you've got the URL where you're really watching it all the way through. Now, and that's tied to Google Analytics or So just
and so you can maybe have an ad, use a UTM tag for a specific Facebook ad, and then just tracking the traffic that way. But it's certainly better with the conversion pixel. So all that information is right in Facebook along with the ads. It's a lot easier to look at.
Yeah. So awesome. I have Laura, my fantastic person here assisting us, and she is already picking out some big book winners based on your participation. So are we ready to announce the first winners? Let's announce the first winners.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We've got Rosemary Clark, Vicki Corson, and Bethany Siegler. Congratulations, guys. Thanks for participating. You guys, what you need to do is send your address to my email address, Andrea@AndreaVall.com. And anyway, I'm going to be watching, though. You can't sneak one by me. Don't try and claim a prize. It's not yours.
Yeah, maybe in the subject line, just say, give me my Facebook book. Something specific. Yeah.
You know what? I got so discombobulated too on. So congratulations to all you guys, and actually Laura will be announcing those names again in the Google Hangout chat and in the Facebook chat. So thank you for Laura for announcing those names. But I got too excited about all the tech problems we were having.
I know. It was, it threw you off, but you maintained your balance pretty well. It was amazing.
Michael.
It really was.
I have a glass of wine here, so I even forgot to say, cheers to us.
Cheers to us.
Cheers to the Facebook book.
Oh my God.
I got all discombobulated on all of this stuff. So I wanted to make a few announcements too. We are going to be giving out prizes throughout this whole event. We're super excited. So definitely participate. I see some questions coming through already that we'll get to, so feel free to ask your questions. But I'm also, for anyone who buys the book on Amazon or on Barnes & Noble tonight, or even up till this whole week when it was first launched, you can get a free copy of my Facebook advertising workbook, and I will send that to you. So if you buy it tonight, you buy it today, if you've bought it within the last week, send me your receipt, and we will we'll send you a free copy of that Facebook advertising workbook. So we're super excited. And we had a question. So we had a question that came through about Power Editor. Michelle Arbo asked, I'm probably butchering your name. Michelle asked, what do you think about the Power Editor, or do you use Facebook Ad Manager? So I'm going to give my quick answer. And then maybe John and Jan can chime in as well. My answer is that I actually even have a blog post about when to use the Facebook Power Editor and when not to use it. And I think mostly I prefer not using it.
Yeah.
I only use it for the very few things that I feel like you need the Power Editor in, which are things like creating lookalike audiences, doing some of the unpublished posts that you do, but I have a whole blog post about it. So, John, what are your thoughts about using Power Editor?
Well, I mean, the Power Editor was originally created for agencies and people whose job was full-time Facebook ad marketing thing.
Right.
You know, that's a Power Editor, and so it's really not meant for your average marketer who has a small business or just is working in a marketing department. And I like, you know, the Facebook Ad Manager, the regular old tool that the rest of us use. That you know, if you notice, that is getting more and more of the Power Editor features over time, like custom audiences, website audiences, lookalike audiences I haven't seen, and I think you're right. You know, maybe that might be in there, right? So it seems like a lot of the Power Editor features are starting to kind of slip into the regular tool. Yeah. And it's better looking. I mean, it's so easy to use. It makes sense. Pick your objective. Do this. Do that. It's super easy.
Yeah, it's so easy. And now I think with the ad sets, where they have now the campaign, then the ad sets, and the ads below them, the campaign scheduling is controlled at the ad set level. But I think it's confusing in the Power Editor.
It is. Yeah. It's ugly. It looks like a big, ugly Excel spreadsheet. That's what the Power Editor is.
Yeah, and I know, totally. It's really nasty, and then you have to upload and download and upload. And
oh yeah, that's a good yes. Who's going to remember to that? Who's going to remember to upload their stuff?
So Jan, what are your thoughts?
Shouldn't have swore.
No, I'm swearing.
You're drinking a lot. I'm not.
I'm drinking. We're swearing. Things are getting real here.
Other than to say that I agree with the two of you, I think. You know, we don't have to beat the Power Manager horse to death. We can move on.
Yeah.
To another question.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, it definitely is a tough question. So, it looks like we have some other people drinking wine with me. So, thank you. I just need to drink
Thank you for drinking wine with me. I have no one else to drink wine with.
No, I hate to drink alone. So let's have a party.
There you go. That's perfect. That's awesome.
So great. So let's throw it to any other questions we've got here. Actually, you know what? I think it is actually time. We're kind of got behind on the actually. Oh, one of the questions came from Sandra Lynch. How many pages are in the book? That is a great question. I think that should be a trivia question that we then answer. You know, whoever gets the right answer gets a consulting session or something. So there is 768 pages in this book, and you could kind of use it as a seat booster or you could kind of hit someone with it.
Yeah, this is really good self-defense, particularly the binding. It's really hard on that end, so if someone comes along trying to steal your purse, just whack them on the side of the head.
Yeah.
And the Facebook marketing book.
Awesome.
That'll pay for itself.
Great. Awesome. So, and I had a question. I think there was a question about how do we win some of the prizes. It is with your questions. It is by asking questions in the chat. We have Laura monitoring all that, and we have totally people checking in on the questions. If you just say hello, I have a better chance of winning. So just say hi in the chat. We actually have another prize winner from Laura, and she said that Daphne LeBlanc is winning John's boot camp.
Oh,
Woo!
nice.
Woo!
Wow, that is so great.
So great job, Daphne, on winning the boot camp. And we have another winner. Denise Kelly is winning my ads course. Woo, Denise! All right, very good. I don't know if I know Denise. I've known you for a while online, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. So I apologize if I am pronouncing that incorrect. And Denise says the Amazon says there's only 4 books in stock, so get them while they're hot.
Whoa.
But you can definitely order them, and they'll come in when they're in. So. And remember, for those of you just joining us, if you do buy a book today, or if you've bought one even the last week or so, this offer is good through today only, that if you buy a book today, you will get a copy of my Facebook ads workbook for free. And I'm throwing that in, and all you have to do is send me your receipt. So let's take a couple of other questions. Christy Schnabel is asking, how do we keep the book current when stuff changes so much? The answer is lots of updates.
Oh my God, that's really hard.
Yeah. Now, John, you've written a few other Dummies books. How many books have you written?
So I wrote Facebook Marketing for Dummies, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition, which I'm wrapping up, right? And I know all what that's about. Facebook changes all the time. Yeah. What I tend to do is I tend to write the strategic stuff at the beginning, and then the technical stuff at the end, because that's the stuff that's really going to change. Whereas strategy doesn't change as much over time. Mm-hmm. Tools change and all that, but strategy maybe change slightly, but generally it's going to stay the same. Yeah,
that's great. That's definitely great advice. And I know that, and Jan, you've written a couple of books. This is your 3rd Dummies book, is that right?
Well, if you by editor, you by title. 3rd title, probably the 7th book altogether for Dummies, web marketing for Dummies, and social media marketing all in one for Dummies.
Yeah.
We're working on the 3rd edition of that one now.
Yeah. That's awesome. So great. And what else was I going to ask you? So how many revisions do you go through, Jan? How often do you revise your books? The books come through. Is it every year, or is it?
Generally, the Dummies books come up with a new edition 2 years, and there are reprints every time books out. Mm-hmm. So we have an opportunity to update all of our books from each reprint.
Awesome. So let's get to a couple other questions, and let's see. We have oh great. Essie thank you, Essie. She put the link to purchase the book. We totally appreciate that. And Essie has helped Jan with a lot of the editing as well, I think, so that's great, and we all need a team.
Oh, especially for Facebook.
Yes, we do, definitely. So let's find out if there's any other questions. Definitely feel free to ask a question about Facebook marketing. I would love to. Leona was asking about the conversion pixel in the post ad. And I'm referring to when you have a published post and you can link it to a pixel, but the best way to set that up is in a website conversion ad. So does anyone have any specific questions about your own Facebook marketing? I'd love to hear any of those. Please put those in the chat. We'd love to get to those as well.
We could review a Facebook page, like a 5-minute review.
Sure, we could do a 5-minute review. Put your Facebook page in the group, and we'll definitely give it a quick review. Why not?
We could do America is Talented. What is it? Oh, American Idol. Like you get 2 seconds, Jan gets 2 seconds, I get 2 seconds, and then they move on to the next round or not. Yeah.
So you know what? We have a couple of questions in the Facebook event. Areza Shauna is asking if we have a preference between Facebook ads and promoted posts. So I'd love to hear, why don't we start with you, Jan, on what you prefer, promoted posts or like a boosted post or a regular traditional Facebook ad?
Well, the answer is depends. Depends on what your marketing goals are.
Yeah.
If you are trying to build reach, if you're trying to get more likes, if you are trying to get great engagement, then promoting posts is a really wonderful way to do it. If, on the other hand, what you're trying to do is drive traffic to your website, then the more traditional Facebook ad is probably the way to go. Mm-hmm. So the answer is, depending on what you're trying to do, you're going to make a strategic decision.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely perfect because, you know, there are different things that I think they can do. I like using the promoted post going just to your fans if you want to re-engage your fans rather than the boosted post that goes to fans and friends. So, John, is there a time you recommend a boosted post, like in general?
Yeah, in general. So just to add to what you're saying, I find it really, that's the thing that's frustrating about boosted posts, is it's not easy to pick only your fans, right?
Yeah.
Because it's either, everyone on the planet or a specific segment, or I think it's paid and your fans and all their friends.
Right.
That's a little frustrating because I think targeting your fans is where you really should start because those people have liked your page. You want to, keep them engaged somehow. But what was your...
So I think
best time for boosted posts,
best time for like really just using the boosted post part.
Yeah, my rule is like do not promote anything that's junk. Right? This is why Facebook Insights are really important. Then you could see, well, this thing is a piece of garbage. What makes you think that if more people see it, it's not suddenly going to turn into a diamond? Oh my God, like, comment, and share. That's not going to happen. It's impossible. If it's a piece of junk. Don't even waste your money. Just promote stuff that is getting that higher rate of engagement.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like going to Las Vegas and throwing money on the table.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet on the post that already has engagement on it. That's where I'm going to put my money. Something that has 1 like, forget it. I'm not putting my money on that one. I mean, that's how I look at it.
Right. Yeah. No, that's good. So it looks like we have a few more questions coming in on the Facebook page, or Facebook app. But first of all, we're going to give away another prize. Jan, pick one of your books that you are going to send out, because we've got a winner here. Which one do you want to pick?
How about Web Marketing for Dummies?
All right. Web Marketing for Dummies goes to Deborah Mitchell. Awesome. And then what's your other one? It's the social media.
Social media marketing.
Okay. So social media marketing goes to Robin Pierman. So awesome. Congrats, guys. We're super excited. And you guys, both of you, if you could just send your address to my email address, and we'll make sure those get out to you. My email address is andrea@andreaval.com. And let's get to a couple more questions here. We have awesome. We have a lot of questions. What are some of the we've got a couple questions on what are some of the things we're going to learn from the book, and also going through some of the titles of the chapters so people kind of get an idea. So why don't I just throw that out a little bit? We've got.
I have a favorite.
What's your favorite?
I have no, seriously. On page 658, it talks about adjusting your Facebook page for mobile madness. Okay, can I read? I'm going to read a paragraph really quickly.
Okay,
it says,
awesome.
Take pity on your mobile users. Less is more when it comes to mobile posts. Keep posts concise and to the point, leaving out unnecessary details, lots of words and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Use graphics when possible, small files, please, to make sure your pinned post is more. And then it gets into pinned posts. But I think there's a lot of insight here in terms of mobile, how the content has to change because more and more Facebook users, in fact, most are mobile users.
Great. That is awesome. That is awesome. And actually, I have a favorite tip from mine as well on the Facebook contest section in book 6. We go into really setting up your event, your contest correctly, so that you can get actual leads as your contest entries. So really making sure that you're using a Facebook app to collect entries, and then making sure that you are using something that's really relevant to your business as a prize, so that you can know you'll have a targeted list of people who are interested in your product. So Jan, what's your favorite tip that people can learn from this book?
Use insights and use the ad manager to look at your results. I would say one of the biggest mistakes most of my clients make.
Yeah.
I do a lot of consulting, is that they throw their money out there and then they forget to see what works. And marketing is very simple. If it works, you keep doing it, just like John said earlier. Promote those that work. But if you're spending your time or effort, to face it, small businesses, time is money, so it's the same difference. But if you're putting a lot of effort into something and know what works, you can stop doing things that don't work and keep doing the things that do.
Yeah.
And Facebook is an opportunity most people forget they have access to figure things out.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. Definitely good stuff too, because I definitely think people get intimidated by the insights, I think, for sure. And you do not have to be intimidated by insights when you read our book, because it's all laid out for you step by step.
There's two sections that I like. Chapter 2, I think that's in book 1, I'm not sure. Maybe it's book 2, I don't know. But building excitement with a contest. And then there's a whole separate chapter about running a timeline contest. And most people may know, but you can no longer use a Facebook liking a page to have access to or be entered into a contest.
Yeah, that's.
I think they're getting rid of the fan gate.
Yep,
basically.
They are getting rid of
that
the
whole
fan
technology. They're going to get rid of that.
I think, someone had asked earlier, and I apologize because we're getting a lot more questions coming through. Someone, and I'm going to see if I can find it. Someone had asked, is there a benefit to getting new fans nowadays? I think that's a big question on people's mind. Is should you even advertise your Facebook page anymore? And what do you think, John?
Wow, this opens up a whole can of worms because, I'm not going to keep it super short, but basically the whole idea that Facebook posts are getting less and less reach, not for everybody, but for a lot of people. It's much more difficult to get into the news feed, right? So the Facebook page, I feel, shouldn't be the only property that you're working within Facebook. I feel like this is really pushing businesses and nonprofits to have a blog, because a blog is the other tool that people have where people read your blog post, they like it, they share it with their friends. So it's almost like if you have your website and your Facebook page together, you can get a lot more reach accomplished on, throughout a larger network.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Jan, what do you think on is it worth it to use Facebook ads to get new fans? What's your thought on that?
My answer is the same before. It depends on what you are trying to accomplish. There are particular audiences where I think promoting your Facebook presence pays off. There are other audiences where what you really want to do is use Facebook to drive traffic to your website. So you really have to look at your overall strategic goal and then figure out what's the best tactic to accomplish what you're trying to do. And there are lots of sections in the book. I think all of us, and especially in the first Three mini that you did. You talk a lot about the overall strategy and tactics in terms of the role Facebook plays in your overall online marketing.
Yeah. Great answer. I know there's no definite answers here, people. That's the problem.
One consideration, I mean, just long terms for any business really, is that ultimately they want quality fans, right?
Yeah.
So the danger of buying Facebook fans, or I should say buying ads to get Facebook fans, although you could buy Facebook fans if you wanted to. There are several companies out there that do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not good. But even targeting too broadly with getting page likes and all that, it doesn't really, that's not a qualified fan. A qualified fan is somebody actually who's engaged, interested. Yeah. And so I would argue that the better ad to make the investment in are really strategically promoting posts from the page in news feeds based on specific interests and, a lot of things, even website retargeting. There's a lot you can do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Actually, I'm sorry. Website retargeting you can't do with a page post.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. That's true.
See, these things
I know. There's a lot of different ads in there. So, it's time for another prize. Let's give stuff away. And you know what I love giving other people's stuff away. And I'm so excited because TabSite has given us a 1-year use of their app to one lucky winner, and I just heard from Laura who that is. It's very exciting because TabSite has amazing capability with apps, contests, all kinds of things that you can use in that, and the winner is Glenda McDonald. Congratulations, Glenda. Yay, she's in my Social Media Manager School program, so I think that'll be really useful to her, so awesome. And who wouldn't it be useful to? We love TabSite. So let's get to a few other questions, actually. We have a question on from Michelle Evans on what is one way I can use Facebook to build my personal brand. And I think just by having a Facebook page and by posting and being useful, you're building your brand that way. So I think definitely that's a really. Do you guys have any other things to add on building your brand?
Well, if you're trying to build a personal brand, one thing you might look at doing is using Facebook groups as an opportunity to show off your, very subtly, of course, but to show off your expertise and to take a leader role in the discussion. And I think that can really be very helpful when it comes to building personal brand. And you can build trust with people that way when they see the integrity of your response.
Right. That's a great point because I think Facebook groups are becoming so much more visible than a lot of pages, actually, and so I think that participating in targeted groups is a great way to connect with a lot of new people.
I would caution people, remember to lurk, that old-fashioned internet term. If it's not a group that you're starting yourself, spend some time looking at the quality of the other participants in the group, look at the quality of the posts, the frequency of the posts. Is it only the moderator post? Is it a lot of other people posting? Is it a dynamic group? So that when you're making a choice to participate, you're participating with people who might be more likely to hire you as a consultant.
Yep, that's definitely a good point. So be a lurker.
It sounds a little
no, it's
steepy,
good advice.
but it's just
good advice.
There's also the follow button, right? There's also that follow button. So if somebody is,
open up the follow button. Yeah, that's. Yep. Yeah. That's in the. Why don't you give that address, John, for people who don't know where the follow button is?
Oh my God, I don't know that.
Isn't it about-follow? About?
Oh yeah. Facebook.com/ or this way, but it might look backwards too. So I always call it / because it's like it's falling forward.
Yeah, that's good.
I just think of it that way. It's falling forward. Anyhow, but Facebook.com / about follow.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so actually it is time to give away another prize. We have the prizes coming fast and furious because we got started a little late. So Michelle Evans is getting John another seat of John's boot camp. So
Awesome.
Congratulations, Michelle. Just send your information over to Andrea at Andrea Vol. We'll make sure you get that prize. And I think that's what we have for now. And I am super excited that Jenny Herman noticed that I've got the book in my background. Here it is. So thanks, Jenny. So let's ask. We've got some other questions coming up. A question from Tony Mortensen is, how do you hype up events on your page? That's a great question. Any thoughts from either of you? Feel free to chime in. I feel like I've been hogging the conversation.
Well, no, you haven't. You've been great. You should have your own talk show, actually. I think, you should. So first of all, I think the event itself has to be awesome, and it has to be remarkable. Okay, if it's true, if it's boring, then you can't make it look good with Facebook events. Now, that said, I think it's smart to encourage people who register for an event to actually RSVP to Facebook after they register, right? So if they sign up for an event, then they RSVP on Facebook, and the value for them is simply, hey, you're going to get the insider scoop on all the stuff that we're doing for this event. Don't miss out, RSVP on Facebook. That way you can be in the know and find out who else is attending. Because one of the #1 reasons why people go to an event is they want to see who else is there. And that's the value of a Facebook event. And further, when that happens, when you have registrants RSVPing to a Facebook event, what's happening is that they are automatically telling their friends about that event just by way of the news feed, right? That's how it works. And then you could take a Facebook ad and you could really do some powerful stuff with that Facebook event. So, there's a lot you can do, but it does start with making sure that it's actually an event that people are going to be interested in, they're going to talk about, and give them like a sneak peek behind the scenes. Hey, check it out. The sneak peek type of thing really works. And you could do that on Facebook. Of course, you have a lot of stuff to talk about on your Facebook page related to the event, but make it about the community. Don't make it about the business or trying to sell the event. That type of thing. Just try and be useful and share some cool stuff about the event. Yeah,
that's a great insight there to give them a behind-the-scenes peek. How about you, Jan? Do you have any thoughts on hyping it up?
Well, certainly, you can always advertise your event on Facebook, but I'd encourage people to remember that Facebook is only one piece of their online marketing strategy, and you can cross-promote your event through your e-newsletter, you can cross-promote your event on your website, you can cross-promote your event to other social media, and not to forget that you don't have to stay just within the narrow, not so narrow circle of Facebook, but that there are a lot of other people who might actually then become fans of your page if they come to an event first. And the way you're going to get them is going to be to cast a bigger net.
Yeah. Awesome. And I also like, one of my good tips is really just posting often in the event, because that people get a notification on that. And you can even sometimes this is kind of a little different bit of strategy, is changing some of editing the event actually gives people a notification as well. So, if you want to add some extra text in there, sometimes that gives people a notification. And I like using your personal profile to connect with some of your clients and potential customers so that you can then personally invite them. So I know that's not always something that people definitely like doing. But so, John, we have a question coming in about a nonprofit from Virginia. She's trying to help a nonprofit, and she's inviting people to a conference, and it's in San Diego. Let's see.
What's the conference about? Is it a conference at the
Academy of Professional Family Mediators?
Okay.
And she's saying that they don't have a big budget, of course, and there's no one who knows what to do with the reach to reach the audiences and do it inexpensively. So I guess the question is how to find these people on Facebook, I think, is the real question. How do you find a very specific target on Facebook and not a big budget?
Yeah. Okay. So if it's an association for family mediators, which it sounds like that is, right? I'm not sure how much a family mediator would want to talk about their work on Facebook. I'm just not sure about that, right? So maybe there's another network. It sounds like if it's more of a professional type of connection, that might be LinkedIn or Google+. But on Facebook, particularly around family, doctors. Actually, doctors tend to be very quiet on Facebook. They don't really share a lot of stuff. So, any kind of medical association or nursing association or any type of health-related, nonprofit association, they're going to have maybe a challenge on their hands to get members involved. So I think a lot of it has to do with understanding the current people, the current community, right? The current people on your email list, understanding those people, and finding out what do they want to talk about. What do they talk about?
Right.
Okay? And of course, the first step, I think, and we don't really talk about Facebook page as a way to do some serious research, but actually, I think it is. So that's why I think most of the people on your email list should be a Facebook fan. That way, you can get some insight using Facebook Insights around the type of updates that they respond to. Okay, so you can get to know your community better that way. So I think there's probably a challenge here around the content.
Right.
So what are you going to talk about that's going to get people amped without, discussing family therapy stuff? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. It is hard for.
They should post web therapy videos. That's what I think. Do you ever watch web therapy?
Web therapy is awesome.
Oh my God, I love web therapy. It's exactly what I'm going to watch when we're done. I'm just going to jump over. She's so brilliant.
That's great. So we've got some more prizes coming through, and I'm super excited. So we have Tony Mortensen won John's boot camp. So that's really awesome, and super excited about that. And then I think, let's see. Oh, and Jenny Herman won my Facebook ads course. So awesome! We love giving away prizes. And we are going to announce the winners of the 3 consulting sessions with us coming up here shortly. So we're super excited. And I know we got started late, and we may hang over. I know there was a couple of people, or there was someone who posted their Facebook page in for a Facebook review. So I'm going to see if I can go back to that. So we'll definitely, let me just see if we've got some other questions. Let's see. We've got, oh man, you guys are awesome. You're posting a lot of great questions here in the in the groups. So I think one of the questions that came in was about knowing when an ad is successful or looking for successful ad campaigns. Is there case studies out there? That came in from Deborah Mitchell. Is there do you guys know? I mean, they used to have the ads board, but that went away. Yeah. I don't know of any places that have specific case studies for ads. Do you guys know?
Not really. I mean, what I would do is I would go and look at the software companies that deal with Facebook ads, and there's 2 or 3 that kind of slipped my mind. But I'm sure they have blog posts that talk about Facebook ads.
Yeah. Jan, do you have any thoughts on where people can go to look for successful campaigns? Or it's hard to say.
In our book, there
in
are
our book, yeah, exactly. Buy the book, people.
In the advertising section of Facebook Marketing All-in-One. There's lots of success campaigns. You can also, on Facebook, you go and look at their own studies. Yeah. And they're real happy to give you examples of how other people spend money.
Yeah.
and gotten great results.
Yeah, yeah. The Facebook marketing, the Facebook advertising section. If you go into facebook.com/advertising, right? Is that where that is with the case studies? I think that's where that's at.
Yeah.
So,
just Google it, the help section.
yeah. Go in there. I think I really think that you just have to do your own testing, though. You know, take a little part of your budget and do the testing yourself. Like spend 10, 15 bucks on each ad, see which performs the best for you, and there's your case study, because you're not gonna always replicate exactly the situation that case study covers. So, awesome. And let me just see. Oh, Sandra Lynch asked, the live streaming is pretty cool. Is it covered in the book? This is the 22 Social app that we are using here. So if you go to 22social, I think, .com.
If you go to chapter 3, we talk about 22 Social.
Yeah. Which chapter is that, Jan?
It's chapter 3.
Wait, I'm sorry, you were cutting out a little bit. Which one?
It's book 8, chapter 3.
Book 8, chapter 3?
Yes, in the live video section.
Book 8, chapter 3 in the live video. That's right. That's where it is. Live video section.
About it in the book.
Yeah, that's where it's at. So check that out. Go buy our book. So let me just see if we've got the winners yet. She's picking them now. So and hold on just a second. Now I lost all the comments. Oh, they're there. Okay, good. So Tracy said she just bought the Kindle version, and you can send your receipt to Andrea at Andrea Vol, and you'll get my workbook. Thank you, Tracy. Super excited. The Kindle version works too, so if you buy the Kindle version, just send me the copy of the receipt or information that you bought it. That would be great. Let's see if we have some other great questions here. Oh, Margie is asking, can you hi Margie, by the way. Can you comment on using Facebook's optimized CPM versus trying to set a bid price? So she's, you know, there's just a lot of different schools of thoughts on the bid price versus optimized CPM. What are your thoughts?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, John. I'll start with you. I should call someone out rather than
my thought is that it depends upon if your job title is Facebook marketing person or not, right? So if you're a small business owner, you own a hair salon, I would go with the optimized bid and just say that's one thing you don't have to worry about. But if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty and you're running a lot of Facebook ads, then it may be a good idea to look at the other selections, because you could probably save a little bit of money doing it a different way, but you'd really have to justify it, you'd have to be spending a lot of money on Facebook ads. That's just my approach, is that keep it simple, and if you're happy with the results, just keep doing that. Don't add this whole level of stuff where, oh my God, I got a CPM, what the heck is that? Click through, Yeah,
right.
Yeah, keep it simple.
I would caution people that for most small businesses, going CPM, which is based on impressions, as opposed to a campaign that's based on clicks, could end up costing a lot of money and not produce as many results as you might like. My experience.
So you feel like
for a CC campaign.
Yeah, so you prefer the CPC campaign, Jen?
For small businesses, except for large companies that are trying to do branding, I like CPM campaigns.
Yeah.
But for smaller businesses, I tend to people towards a CPC campaign.
Yeah, and here's what I think that I love about, well, love and sometimes not love so much, is there's lots of different ways to approach it, and I think that for me, I actually prefer the optimized CPM because I think they show it to people who are more likely to click on your, or whatever the goal is. But sometimes that can narrow the audience too. So, John, what are your thoughts on? You seem like.
Well, I was just saying. I was just thinking to myself. It depends upon the objective, because if you pick, page post engagement versus page likes, what Facebook is basically saying is not necessarily optimize CPM, but optimize to reach your goal, to reach your objective. Optimize for your objective. That's what they're really talking about.
Right.
And again, it depends upon which objective you're choosing, but
Right.
the optimized part would be specific to the objective.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the CPC can be a great thing if you are, if you're just concerned about it. I don't want to show this to people and I only want to make sure that people are clicking.
Mm.
Well, the other thing which is very nice, which Facebook is now doing in their ad management, that I really think is helpful for a lot of people who haven't experimented yet with Facebook advertising, it now kind of does a little hand-holding by objective. And so you select advertising objective, and then Facebook will walk you through the appropriate technique to reach the objective. And that's something new, and it's really good for people who are just sort of getting their feet wet in this whole idea, how do I build a campaign?
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Great point. Great point with that.
And you can actually do a CPC with a page post engagement ad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point too. So awesome. We are, I know we're running a little bit over, and I'm just going to announce the winners of the consulting sessions. We have them picked out.
Right.
And so we have, our winners are Corey Ayers is winning the consulting session with me. So congratulations, Corey. Tony Mortensen is winning the session with Jan. Congratulations to you. And Janet Kennedy is winning the session with John. So
good. All right.
Great winners. Yay! Let's round of applause. So awesome. And I know we're running just a little bit over. I'm just looking to see if there's any additional questions. That we've got a lot of people who are, I don't know, do we want to do a quick, like, I know there's been a lot of people who are posting the Facebook review. Is that something we feel up to tackling? Just a quick.
Or we could do like favorite app and why.
Okay, why don't we do that? Because I don't know if I am coordinated enough to open another tab to like look at the review. You know, we should have another hangout for that.
Yeah.
So let's just do a little quick round robin on let's do favorite Facebook app. We'll just do that for general. John, we'll start with you.
Post Planner. I love Post Planner. It's such a huge. You know, I call Post Planner. I think they even quoted me. They have like a little ad on their website. It's the aspirin for Facebook marketers. It's like
I think I saw that
aspirin.
quote. Yeah,
because you can schedule stuff, you can set up a queue, the analytics are really simple, you can find great content and stick that in the queue. It's such a useful tool. Love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great app. Jen, how about you? Favorite Facebook app?
I don't think I have a favorite.
Yeah? I know, it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick. I know. I have to say, okay, I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick one for, yeah, I can't pick.
Can I pick two more then?
Yeah, you know what I'm going to pick? I know. You know what I'm going to say? I just actually posted today on some of my favorite Facebook contest apps, and I love TabSite. I love Heyo. I love Tab Foundry. Some fantastic apps there.
Agora Pulse.
Agora Pulse.
I love Agora Pulse. Oh my God,
another great one.
Yeah.
Really great for marketing, for insights and seeing some different stuff that you don't see with Facebook Insights. So that's really good. Okay, so let's do. Should we do another? You know what? Here I know what we need to do. We need to talk about where people can connect with us. We didn't do that yet. So Jan, we'll start with you. Jan, where can people connect with you? And we'll put these links in the chats here. Jan, or did Jan disappear? I'm getting a black.
I see her face, but it's frozen.
Okay, she might be frozen.
A little frozen face.
Yes. I hear. I don't know. It's books at watermelonweb.com, websites watermelonweb.com, that's probably the easiest way to find us.
Okay. So watermelonweb.com, we'll put that, and there's all the links there to connect with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jan, what do you have coming up that you'd like to share with people? Anything you'd like to plug here as we wind up the call?
Well, if you're going to be in Dallas, Fort Worth, the 9th to the 11th, I am going to be doing some training sessions for the Association of Small Business Development Centers on mobile marketing and on brick and clicks, local marketing online. And if you're an Albuquerque bridal consultant, I'll see you at the end of October.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, John, where do people connect with you and find you?
John, you could just go to johnhayden.com, haydon.com, and then johnhayden.com. And I'm on Twitter, John Hayden. You can also go on Facebook /John Hayden, Google Plus, I think John Hayden.
Yeah. All of it. You got it all.
Yeah. You could Google me too. I mean, if you want to do that.
No other John Hayden.
There is this guy whose his name is also John Hayden, and he's a news reporter, a newscast person who talks about I forget what his thing is, but race cars or something like that. But yeah. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I have an Andrea Vall who is actually a horror film actress. And
no
so
way.
I got a lot of the Andrea Vall social media handles, thankfully, before she jumped on them. She's gotten one or two, I think. And
really?
And she so every once in a while I get a Google alert and it's her trailer with her screaming, and I'm like, I feel like I want to meet her, but
oh my God. So she only does horror movies?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a really interesting niche, so that's her. But I do not do horror movies. I wear wigs. So you can find me at AndreaVall.com, VAHL, and upcoming, we have some great events. Actually, tomorrow, I want to give a little plug for the Doable Social Summit Hangout tomorrow at, I'm going to post about it on all my sites. So if you want another hangout, another time to hang out with me, that's tomorrow. And definitely make sure you get my ebook. I just updated it recently on my website, on the main site of my website, on Quick Start Guide to Social Media. So that's what I've got. And let's see, what else? I want to make sure that we have, I think Laura was going to post all the winners in both sites to make sure everyone knows who they are. And so look for that. And I'm so sorry we had a little technical problem in the beginning, and we also had some issues with the getting started on time, so thank you all for hanging out a little extra time with us, and we're super excited. Sorry we didn't get to all of your fabulous questions. Just as a reminder, if you did buy the book today on Amazon, if you bought the Kindle version, if you bought it on Barnes & Noble, if you bought it anytime in the last week, this offer is good for today, up until today. You can email your receipt to me and get a free copy of my Facebook ads workbook, and hopefully that will be beneficial to you for anyone running the important Facebook ads. So,
and just a reminder that those people who purchase today, or at least put their book on order if Amazon is out, their name will be entered into a draw for 3 fancy-wancy backpacks filled with Dummies tag.
Oh my gosh, Jan, I'm so glad you reminded me. I totally forgot that we have more prizes available. We have more prizes to give away even after this. Wiley has donated some great little backpacks full of Wiley swag, and if you have purchased the Dummies book, send your thing over to your receipt over to me, and we'll do another drawing tomorrow. We'll announce the winners and tell people if they won the backpacks full of swag. Who doesn't like swag? So awesome. So thank you guys. We're going to sign off now. Any parting words, John?
Have a great Labor Day weekend.
Oh yeah, Labor Day weekend. Jan, any parting words for everyone out there?
just have fun with Facebook or whatever kind of marketing you do. Otherwise, it's not worth it.
Yeah, that is awesome advice. Have fun. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm giving you a cheers to our party, and we were all fashionably late, and we stayed late too. So thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.